Hi folks, this is Terry. Today we're going to go through a more basic level flow to whether come back to basics if you've been practicing yoga for a while, or if you're new to yoga, maybe you'll find this helpful as well. Some props you might want to have available. If you don't worry about it. But some things around the house you may or may not have. These are yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, you can grab some even height, maybe hardcover books. I've also used canned food before, especially even height ones. Water bottle or two. So that can work. The other thing I would potentially grab or have available is a pretty sturdy pillow, maybe like one you keep on your couch, like for decorative reasons or something. Or if you have a bath towel, you can roll it up nice and firm. Yeah, with that, let us get started with let's get started on our backs. So on your back, you can have your legs out straight in front of you. You can have kind of in a butterfly position, or this is called Baddha Konasana, but you're kind of supine on your back. You can be within a constructive rest pose, which is your feet wider than your hips and your knees knocked or tented in towards each other. So listen to your low back, what works best for you, where you can find some stillness before we start to move, where with that stillness, we come into ourselves. So up until this moment, we've all been living our life doing whatever that is. And now we take this moment, pull in your breath nice and long, and a nice extended open mouth exhale. And do that a few more times until you start to feel kind of the horse blinders or whatever you want to call it of letting go of the rest of your life outside of here just for this moment. It's always there when we're done, but for this moment, you can let it go. This moment is just for you. Nice long, extended inhales filling in through your belly. And your exhales just as long, if not longer, than your inhales. When you fill up through your belly, that helps to soothe our vagus nerve, which helps to bring down the anxiety within ourselves, brings in the parasympathetic nervous system. And breath is truly the one thing in your body that you can fully control, as well as it will just happen with no control. That's the only thing in your body that does that. Maybe place your hands right at your low rib cage where you can feel through your pinky fingers, your belly expand up on your inhales, your rib cage expand up. And as you exhale, feel all of that collapse in. And really let your hands take that ride of expanding up and down. As we start to move, our breath is more in and out of just our nose. It's called an Ujjayi breath or victorious breath. So start to inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. And instead of letting your belly fully expand, try to pull the belly tight, like you have a rubber band between your hip points. And as you exhale, you're trying to use your hip points to pull that rubber band tight and taut between the hip points. And your throat has a constriction in the back of your throat through your inhales and exhales. It's going to help to slow down your breath. And when we slow down our breath, we have more control over it, but we can also more fully connect our movement to breath without hurrying through either one. And then start to reach your arms out long behind you. Reach your legs out in front if they're not already. Take a big morning stretch here. Maybe feel your low and mid back lift off the mat. And then as you exhale, pull your knees into your chest, lift your head and shoulders off, and give yourself a hug, wrapping your arms around your shins, rocking a little side to side. As you pull your head up and hug your knees in even more, maybe you feel a stretch across your upper back, your low back. And then set your head back down. Let your left leg go long and guide your right leg over to the left for a supine twist. Inhale in. Your right leg doesn't have to go all the way to the floor. I'm keeping mine lifted here. We're just warming up. Inhale, fill up that right side body. And then exhale, release. Come back through center. And then hold on to your left shin as you let your right leg go long. And then guide that left leg back over to the right. Gaze can be up or to the left. Inhale in through your entire left side. And then let it go. Come back through center. Bring your feet to the floor, hip width apart. Maybe see if you can somewhat touch your heels. It's a little bit hard for me. Roll your shoulder blades back. Press your feet flat into the floor. Pull that belly in tight. Lift your hips up for a bridge. When you get up here, squeeze the outside of your thighs and hips in. Pull the belly. Instead of lifting up through the belly, pull it down like you're making a slide from your pubic bone to your rib cage. And then tie your low rib cage together. And then make little pulses here. Squeezing your bum as you get to the top. Squeezing your hamstrings like you have a block between your knees. Press thighs and knees in towards each other. Keep breathing. Keep it going. It's okay to feel a little bit of a burning sensation. You're building strength. Even your glutes are considered core. Some of the biggest muscles of our body in our glutes. Slowly release. Bring your knees back in towards your chest. And then bring your hands underneath to rock forwards and backwards wide. And press yourself up. Slide yourself back. Cross your ankles one over the other. Rock forward and come into this tabletop position. In tabletop, you want your wrists under your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And then we'll do a few cat and cows to start to warm up our spine. So initially, start to tip your tailbone up, look up, and now your back is in this extension or back bend. And it's easy to just dump right into this and not think about it. So start to engage. Press your hands into the mat, and then energetically try to drag your hands towards your knees. They're not going to move. And you might feel some engagement through your upper back. Widen your collarbone. This is your cow pose. Then release. Tuck your tailbone under. Tuck your chin under. Press into your knees and hands even more. Round up through your back. Like you're trying to separate every vertebrae of your spine. Pull your belly in nice and tight. This is your cat pose. Inhale back to cow. Drag your hands back towards your knees. If you feel this more in your low back versus your upper back, you need to really focus on engaging the upper back, widening through your collarbones and pulling your shoulders away from your ears. And then exhale, cat pose. Good, and then come back to center. And even though we're in this structured pose of a tabletop, feel free to find freedom within this structure. So you can make that whatever that means for you. Hip circles, neck circles, barrel rolls through your whole chest and body. Maybe swinging your hips side to side and looking over your shoulder. So sometimes the key is finding freedom in your movement within the confines of being told stay in tabletop. How creative can you get with it? Or what does your body need and want for this? And then come back to center. Bring your left hand to the mat. Press evenly through your left hand and knees. And inhale, reach your right arm up. As you reach your fingertips up to the ceiling, press your left hand in even more. Twist through your rib cage. And then try to not let your right hip go with you. And ring out through your spine. Lift, stretch, and then set your right hand down. Let's go the other way. Press in through the right hand, lift your left arm up, and then focus on the twist. Lengthen through your spine, and then twist by lifting up through the left fingertips, pressing down with your right hand. Instead of letting your left hip fully go to the left, hug it in, find length, and twist. Press the back of your hand back behind you, and then release. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, right arm up. This time, reach your right arm back behind you. Inhale, right arm up. And this time, bring it forward and then turn your chest forward. Hug your armpit in. Have your palm facing the left. And then press into your left hand so you're not dumping into that shoulder. Belly nice and tight. Find length from your right fingertips to your right hip crease. Belly taut. And then set your right hand down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale behind you. Thumb up. Inhale back up to the ceiling. Exhale forward, turn palm to the right, and then press your right hand in, squeeze right armpit back towards your right hip. Hug both hips in, hug your belly in, lengthen through your left side. Breathe and release. Inhale, find a cow. Exhale, child's pose. Knees nice and wide. Big toes either touching or just directionally towards each other. Maybe rock your hips a little side to side. Find your breath. Big inhale in. And let it go. And then look forward. Reach your fingertips really far forward. And slide onto your belly while on your forearms. This is Sphinx pose. From Sphinx, turn the tops of your thighs down. Press into your forearms. Drag your shoulder blades down your back to find length through both sides of your neck. Notice if your elbows are really far back. So if you can't see the crease of your elbow, pull it forward. Hold and lift. Widen from the right collarbone all the way to the left collarbone, like you're trying to press the ends of your collarbone out wide and away from each other. And then engage your belly like you're trying to lift it off the mat. It might still touch the mat. That's okay. But engaging it will help your low back and find some strength. Learning how to use core muscles in every movement is so key. And then press your hands into the mat. Squeeze elbows in. Start to lift. Really pull. Turn your elbows up so the eye of your elbow is up towards the ceiling. Turn and twist your triceps down and around. Pull and suction your low belly away from the mat even more. Lengthen through your hands. Lengthen through your neck. This is seal pose. And then slowly release. Drag your hands, feet under your shoulders. Hug your elbows in. Inhale, lift to your cobra pose. Notice if your shoulders squish up towards your ears. pull them down by pressing into your hands and lengthening through your side body and neck. And then come into tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to do a little mobility work with our wrists and shoulders. So I'll show you here. As you inhale, we're going to lift your elbow up really high, hug it in, turn your hand down and back down. So now your fingers are facing your knees. And then we'll go with the other hand. Right hand or left hand lifts, hand turns around, comes back down. Lift your right hand up, turn it around, back down, left hand up, hug that elbow in high, turn it around and down. Then the other way, left elbow lifts, flip your hand down, right hand elbow lifts, flip your hand down. Left hand elbow up, flip your hand forward, down, right elbow up, flip, down. And we'll keep doing that, maybe get a little faster. If it's really easy for you, feel free to do it from a plank position. So you can do this from plank. Noticing if your butt gets really high or not. Let's start in tabletop, maybe try it there first. And then if you want to try from plank, go for it. Be careful with your wrists. Let's go. Right elbow up, flip your hand, left elbow up, flip. Right elbow up, flip, left elbow up, flip. Left elbow up, flip, right elbow up, flip, right elbow up, flip, left, flip. Keep it going. Notice when you lift your elbow, you're hugging it in and not letting it fly out like a chicken wing. It's okay if you get screwed up. I do. We're all human. All right, stop. Bring your knees together. Sit back on your heels. Bring your hands up. Rotate through. That's weirder than it feels. Maybe harder than it looks. Oh, reach your hands up. Clasp your hands. Press up. Open up. Big inhale. Open up your arms nice and wide. Let them float all the way down. Hands down. Tabletop, then walk your hands one handprint forward. Tuck your toes. Let's find our first down dog. Down dog is making a triangle with your body. And you're a dog, so you have all four paws on the floor. And they're all acting as feet. The key is, even though you're in this triangle, you want the longer side of the triangle being the sides of your body. You can keep your knees bent. Feel energy and engagement through your side body, especially at the muscles that wrap right underneath your armpits. You want to engage by twisting the triceps down and around. Send your hip crease up and back. Press your hands down and forward. And really, this is an inversion because your head is lower than your heart. So once we're in an inversion, your hands become more important. And we do this quite a bit in yoga. It eventually becomes more of a resting pose, but you're also building strength. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Widen your feet as much as you'd like to stay in this forward fold. Bend your knees as much as you'd like. Sway side to side. Feel the weight in your feet. Feel the weight shift within your feet from one side to the other. Let your head hang heavy. Notice where the weight goes between your feet, maybe as you rock forwards and backwards. Really building awareness of our body, which helps in everything we do. The more acute and aware we are of ourselves and internally how things work, the more overall healthier we will become, because we can notice little things that maybe you haven't before. Start to bend before we do that, grab opposite elbows and let your head kind of come between, so your ears are by your triceps. Now start to bend your knees a lot, like you're going to sit into a chair. Your belly can be on your knees. And then start to flatten your back by lifting your arms up. You can even lay your forehead very lightly onto your forearms. Find this strength from the hip crease all the way to your elbows. It's like you're trying to suction your belly away from your thighs, even though you're sitting on your thighs. Good. And then slowly press through the feet to stand all the way up. Reach your elbows back behind you. Find an opening through your front body. Pull your belly in. Nice big breath. And let it go. Seal your lips. Maybe sway or twist side to side here. Right to left. Good. And then let your hands slide so they clasp right behind your head. And press your elbows open behind you. Hug that belly in so your butt's not kind of sticking out more than it needs to. And then find some rolls here. Around through your spine. Big rolls. Maybe clockwise first. And then counterclockwise after. Come back through center. Reach your arms out to a T and start to rotate through your wrists. And then make sure your feet are hip width apart. And then reach your hands up and start to come up onto your toes. Squeeze your thighs in, zip up from your pubic bone all the way to your rib cage. And as you exhale, lower your hands, lower your heels. Inhale, time it. So as you lift your heels, you start to lift your hands. When you get to the top of your toes, your hands are at the top. And then time it as you exhale your hands down, time to where your heels hit the floor. And then inhale back up. Squeeze, zip up through your midline. And then exhale slowly. Let that energy control down. And inhale back up. And exhale back down. One last one. Inhale back up. This is working some balance. Finding one point to gaze at that doesn't move will help with balance. Good. Heels down. Inhale, reach your arms up. And then exhale, softly bend your knees as you forward fold. As you inhale, lift with the soft bend in your knees. Start to pull the shoulder blades back. Same thing in that cow tilt. Drag shoulder blades back. Widen through your collarbones, even if your hands are on your shins. Notice if you're rounding. And try to flatten your back. Lengthen through both sides of your body. Lengthen your neck on both sides. This is your halfway lift. And then exhale, release. Walk out to your down dog position. Inhale, come forward into your plank. Feel free to be on your knees and stir through your wrists and toes. Squeeze your butt, squeeze your thighs, and then stir the other way. Good. Send your knees down. Inhale, cow tilt. And then exhale, send your chest, keep your butt high. Chest and chin to the floor, squeeze elbows in. And then slide into your cobra pose. Inhale. Exhale, back to down dog. Find your breath and reset. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Good. Let's do some sun salutation A's. As you inhale, bend your knees and look forward. As you exhale, take a few steps to get to the top of your mat. Stay in a forward fold. And then inhale, find that halfway lift. Get the round out of your back, lengthen it and flatten it. And then exhale, soften forward fold. It's just a tip of your pelvis. And then drive through the feet. Stand all the way up, mountain pose. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, soften your knees as you forward fold and dive down. Inhale, cow tilt of your pelvis as you halfway lift. Exhale, step to your plank. Feel free to come onto your knees. Inhale, look forward. As you exhale, lower with control all the way to your belly. Inhale, lift your heart. Cobra pose. And then exhale, back to down dog. You can either come through tabletop and tuck your toes, or press through plank, or go right back to down dog. And then we reset and get ready to do it all over again. Focus on integrating your breath and engagement of your body. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, either take a few steps or one step and come to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, engage. Exhale, forward fold and soften. Inhale, stand and reach high. Squeeze your butt, squeeze that low belly. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, slowly swan dive forward. Inhale, engage. We work hard in this halfway lift, and we're already in a half plank from the hips up. So from here, we just step our feet back, plank pose. Stay on your knees if you'd like, and float to your belly, squeezing elbows in. Inhale, cobra pose. Shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose. Walk your feet so your big toes touch or almost touch. And then inhale, lift your right leg up. Press both hip creases back. Good. Point up through your right toes or ball mount of your toes. Maybe a soft bend in your left knee helps to feel better in your body. And then as you exhale, we come into plank and try to kiss your knee, and then press up so you're rounding even more than plank. It gives room for your knee. And then inhale, kick back up, three-legged dog. Good, and then as you come forward and try to kiss your knee, still round. It gives you room to be able to step your foot forward. If you're unable to step your foot forward, step to where you can, and then take your right hand and move it forward. Then inhale, look forward, low lunge. And then exhale, long pyramid variation, starting to straighten your front leg, shift both hips back, maybe lifting your right toes up. Flexion belly away from your thighs. Inhale, rebend. Exhale, left foot meets your right foot, forward fold, top of the mat. Inhale, chair pose. So butt low, knees bent. Notice if you're rounding or extending in this back bend or rounding, lengthen up, pull your belly in. Notice if your knees are collapsing in, engage your legs, strengthen and stabilize your legs. You know what? We do this all day long, picking up your purse, picking up something. Notice if your knees collapse in or not. And it's okay if they do, but only if you do it intentionally. Good. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. As you exhale, step your left foot back, coming back to low lunge. Ground your left hand to the floor, and then reach your right arm up for a twist. In this twist, as you press your left hand in, reach your right fingertips up, just like we did from tabletop. And then hug that right hip in, hug the left hip in. Find a little bit of lift through your pelvis and the back of your pelvis. Hugging right knee in. Good. One more inhale. As you exhale, walk both hands towards your left corner of your mat. So legs stay the same, but now your right hand is reaching towards the left side and finding length through your right side body. Breathe here, and then set your left knee to the floor. Left hand is a little bit wider, keep it there. Reach your right arm up. So you're in this twist, press through your left armpit to lift, and then reach your right arm back behind you. So you're in this kind of low lunge twist. Lift through both sides of your body. Breathe. Feel the front of your left quad, your left thigh start to lengthen. And then exhale, come back down. Hands frame your right foot. Lift your left knee. Come into your plank position. Inhale here. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, hold. Slight bend in your right knee. Might help. Press hands down and away. Squeeze the back left hamstring and left glute to help lift your leg even more. One more inhale. Exhale, try to kiss your knee and round through your upper back. Punch up through the back of your heart. And then inhale, kick back behind you. And then exhale, step through towards your left hand. Or step your left foot to where you can. Then use your left hand to move your left foot forward. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, straighten out both legs, or a little tiny bend in both legs might feel better, especially if you feel a big taxing at the back of your left knee. Maybe lifting your left toes up. Inhale. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, big step up. Right foot meets your left. Forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Knees bend, butt low. Exhale, find stability here. Notice what your knees are doing. Notice what your belly's doing. Spark up through your fingers. One more inhale. Exhale, soften, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back. Low lunge. Right hand comes to the floor. Press in and reach your left arm up through the fingertips. And then pull both hips into the midline. Find a little buoyancy through your hips by engaging. And then exhale, take both hands off to the top right of the mat. So it's like down dog arms, but your legs stay the same. So still hug those hips in. Left fingers are reaching towards the right. And then let your right knee come to the floor. Right hand stays out wide. Open up your left knee. Reach your left arm up. Punch up through your right armpit. And then reach back behind you. Really open up your chest. Reach, reach, reach. Get heavy through your right hip, but still squeeze your right glute and hamstring. Nice big breath in. And nice big breath out. Next inhale, come forward. Frame your left foot. Lift your right knee, tuck your right toes. Exhale into your plank position. From your knees or not. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, let yourself float to your belly. Inhale, lift your heart. Ears away from your shoulders. Exhale, back to down dog. Finding your breath here. Finding home within your body. Big inhale in. Pull the belly tight, send the hips up. Inhale, right leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, try to bring your knee into your nose. Punch up and round through your back to find room. And then inhale, kick back. Exhale, step through or use your hand to help. Inhale, look forward, low lunge. Exhale, straighten your right leg any amount. Squeeze the thighs back. Send the right hip back towards the left. Inhale, rebend, look forward. Exhale, step up, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, butt low. Exhale, soften, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Lengthen and strengthen the spine. Exhale, step the left foot back, low lunge. Inhale, peel open your right arm. Low lunge with the easy twist. Listen, we're going to add on a bit here. As you exhale, we're coming towards those down dog warriors. So hands both come to the left hand corner. Hug that right hip in. And then keep turning towards the left, coming into a wide leg forward fold. Toes might be turned slightly outward. All right, and then inhale, lengthen your spine. And then turn your right toes out, bend your right knee, walk your hands next to your right foot, press your right arm into your right thigh, keep your left leg straight, and find this high skandasana or high skater pose. Good. And then turn back to the front. Walk your left foot towards the left. So your feet are in line with your hips. And then rise up to your high lunge. Inhale here. As you bring your right knee forward, hug your right hip in. Squeeze the back of your left hamstring. Good. And then let's open up to warrior two. So come open to the left side. Walk your left foot forward. Bend your left knee in line with your second and third toe. Press in through right toe, your right knee is in front, sorry. Left leg has energy through the pinky toe edge. Twist your hips to the left. Twist your chest to the left. Reach arms out wide. This is warrior two. Hug that right hip down and under. And then work the legs. You can't see how much I'm working my legs, but I'm working them hard, pulling them in. Okay, one more inhale. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Either side of your right foot, look forward. Low lunge, inhale. Exhale, step to your plank pose. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, let it go. And reset. Good. Inhale, left leg up. What is this bug? Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, punch up through your upper back, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog, kick back, squeeze that left glute. Exhale, step through or use your hand to help. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, straighten both legs, slide that left hip over towards the right. Inhale, rebend. And get light through the right foot to take a big step to the front of the mat. Inhale, chair pose. Engage. And then exhale, soften, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps back. Right hand is on the floor. Reach your left arm up. Low lunge with an easy twist. One more inhale. As you exhale, down dog, arms. With your low lunge, hug in that left hip. One more inhale here. And then slide to your wide leg forward fold facing the right. Toes slightly outward. Hug your inner thighs into the midline. Lift up through your pelvis and let your head be heavy. And then inhale, find a halfway lift. Press through your hands, lengthen your spine. And then turn your left toes to the corner. Right foot stays flat, left foot stays flat. Bend your left knee. Walk your hands towards your left foot. Heart is higher than your bum. And you're in this skandasana, it's called, or ninja pose, or skater pose. We all call it different things. Hug and press your left thigh into your left arm. Squeeze right thigh into the middle. One more inhale. Exhale, turn to the front. Inhale, low lunge, look forward. And then walk your right foot to the right, hip width apart, and then rise up, high lunge, crescent lunge. Pull the belly in and knit your rib cage in. Squeeze the back right thigh and glute. Notice what your left knee is doing. Control where you want it to be. One more inhale. Then exhale, open up warrior two. You might have to adjust your feet to get where you need them. Left toes, left knee is forward. Energy out the edge of your right leg and pinky toe edge of your foot. And then shift your shoulders back in line with your hips. A lot of times we want to do this. Pull it back. Work that left hip. One more inhale in warrior two. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down. Low lunge, look forward. Exhale, plank pose. Knees up or down. Exhale, float to the floor. Inhale, find your cobra pose. And then exhale, release. Take your hands back by your hips, palms up, squeeze triceps in. Bring your thighs to touch. And then as you inhale, lift your heart, squeeze shoulder blades back, suction your belly away from the floor, lift your heels and feet, squeeze your butt to lift, then lift your hands, press palms up to the ceiling, squish shoulder blades together. This is locust pose, so you're lifting your heart, you're lifting your feet, we're strengthening the back of our body. Squeeze, lift, breathe, squeeze, lift, breathe, squeeze, lift, breathe. Good. Maybe lift a little bit higher. And then slowly release. Whew. And then let's bring us onto our left forearm. Actually, both forearms. So Sphinx pose one more time. Bend your right knee. Reach your right arm back to catch your right foot or ankle. Good. And then let your chest come to the floor. Reach your left fingertips forward. You're on your fingertips. Left foot is on the floor. And then start to kick your right foot up and away and lift your left arm. Now lift your left leg. So we're in this half bow pose. Kick your right foot away from your body. Lengthen and lift through your left fingertips and heart. Lengthen and lift through your left heel and foot. Lift, lengthen, lift, lengthen. Slowly release. Take a moment and then come back to your forearms, Sphinx pose. This is just to help us set up. Bend your left knee, press into your right forearm, reach your left arm back. Grab your foot or ankle. Good. And then turn your chest towards the floor. Slowly release chest to the floor. Fingertips soft on the floor. And then kick your left foot away from your body to lift your heart, like you're trying to lift your left knee off the floor. Maybe lift your right fingertips, lift your right foot even more. Lift and lengthen while you kick your left foot away from your body. Good. Hug hips into the midline, both right and left hip. Slowly release. Bring your hands one on top of the other. Let your forehead lay on your hands. Lift your feet and windshield wiper them side to side. Good. Let your toes, feet come down. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders. Lift up to cobra. And then sit back onto your heels. Taking your right hand back behind your right hip. You're going to twist to look over the right. Reach your left arm up. Maybe lift your hips up. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your hips in. If you need a block underneath your right hand or a can of food, this is where it might be helpful. And then exhale, release. Come over to the other side. Left hand behind you. Squeeze everything in. Right arm up, inhale. Exhale, you can stay there or press up. And slowly come down. Stand up onto your shins. Take your hands behind your low back. Press fingers in and up. So you have some support at your low back. Hug, pull your low belly in, hug your rib cage in. Squeeze elbows back. Inhale, lift up through your heart. Press your tailbone down. And then as you exhale, keep coming up and over. Keep pushing your butt down as you lift up through your sternum. And find this camel pose variation. And then slowly come up. Step back on your heels. Palms up on your thighs. Soften your shoulder blades down your back. And take a moment to relax. We'll do that one more time. Start to sit up onto your shins. You can do this same thing with your hands at your low back. Inhale, squish everything in, lift up through your heart. Maybe tuck your toes and come back and stay here. Or maybe you're touching or reaching for your heels. If you're reaching for your heels, lift up versus forward. Pull that belly in, lift up, squish the shoulder blades together, lift from that sternum like somebody's pulling you up, and then slowly come back. Sit on your heels, palms up, relax, inhale in, and let it go. Come forward into your tabletop. Tip to either side to flip your legs around front. And let's do one more hip opening. So slide your right foot back, bend your knee, slide your right foot back into your left thigh. Turn your chest, twisted just a slight twist towards the left side and pull your left toes back towards your face. Take your left fingertips behind your hip, press your chest forward. So notice how you can kind of rock forwards and backwards. Maybe even try it. And then end with your chest and pelvis press forward and either stay right here trying to energetically glue your right hip to the floor, or maybe start to walk forward any amount. Maybe your right hand grabs for the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Maybe both hands grab, you can twist over. As long as you still have that feeling of that cow tip in your spine or that pressing your chest and pelvis forward, keep going. If you're rounding, stop wherever you are because you're probably feeling it anyway. We're all just built differently. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Sometimes in yoga, you see a picture of somebody and you're like, well, I don't look like that, so I'm doing it wrong. And that's just not the case. It's completely not the case whatsoever. You are not one other person on this planet is built like that person identically, whether it's how your joints are put together, the length of your bones, the density of your bones, the length of your muscles, whatever that means, injuries. Not one person is built like the other, so you will never, ever, ever look just like another person. I've been doing yoga for 20 years and there's things I will never be able to do because I'm not built for it or I've had an injury, and you have to accept that. There's things in life we have to accept and move on from, and we enjoy where we can go, or perhaps there's things another person can do that we can because we're built differently and they're jealous of us. Get rid of that jealousy. It doesn't matter. Come on back up. Take your left knee, place it over your right knee. So you're like in this little high school cheerleading picture. Walk your right hand behind, left arm over your right knee. Inhale, lift up through your spine. So it's like you're lengthening your spine. Hold that length as you exhale and twist over to the right. I'll get off my soapbox now. But it's so easy to compare ourselves in everything we do, not just yoga. Take your left hand onto your left shin and reach your right arm up and over so your chest is facing your knees, and we're finding a side stretch over to the right. Good. And then turn your chest so it's facing your left shin. Both hands grab onto your shin, twist a little bit deeper, and then come into this little nugget ball of a human. Because you're a cute little nugget. So hold your hands to help pull your head in and find a stretch to your neck, your upper back, perhaps your hips. Slowly come up and let's switch to the other side. Right leg goes long. Bend your left knee. Place your left foot into your thigh. You may want to sit on something here. This is where a towel or something might come into play. Twist and turn just enough to get your chest in line with your right toes. Pull those right toes back to your face. Take your right fingertips behind and then find that tipping forwards and backwards, pressing your chest and pelvis forward and then pulling it back. It's kind of this cow tip, cat tip, cow tip, cat tip. Keep this cow tip. Start to press your chest forward. Maybe walk your left hand forward, grabbing your right foot. Pull your left hip back. Pull it back, ground it to the floor. Maybe reaching your right hand for your foot as well. Keep pressing your left foot and right thigh into each other. Notice what happens the more energy you put into pressing your left thigh and right thigh, left foot and right thigh into each other. What happens in your body when you do so? Again, there's no right or wrong. It's what works for you today, tomorrow, yesterday. It might be different any of those days. It might be the same any of those days. You might look very different from me. Who cares? Maybe you look at me and be like, God, you are terrible at this. Why do you say that? Why do you think that? Or if there's something else you saw me do and you're like, ew, you're not very good at that. But why? Why do you think that is right? What makes it right or wrong? It's just more of looking internally of what you're seeing and what you're judging versus what you're being told is right or wrong. Slowly come up. Okay, now I really am off my soapbox. Start to twist over to the left. So your chest is facing your left knee. Then slide your right knee in over your left. Walk your left hand back behind. Lengthen up through your spine. So this is called an axial extension when your spine lifts. Hold that lift as you exhale and twist. Press your right hand against your left thigh. Find a twist. And then slowly come back around so your chest faces your knees. Take a hold of your right hand onto your right shin. Open up with your left arm and reach your fingertips up and over while you anchor down your left hip and knee. Big inhales. And then as you exhale, turn and twist towards your right shin, any amount. Hold on, hands grab both your right shin, and then use that to help tug yourself into a tiny little nugget ball of a human. Breathe. It's hard to breathe when we're crushed in like this, but still try to breathe the best you can. In through your nose and out through your nose. And then slowly come up. Bring your legs forward. And you can either control coming onto your back or being gentle with yourself. You can turn to one side and then roll onto your back. Once you're on your back, bring your knees up to the ceiling. Grab your hands on your knees. And then your head isn't going to do much work. Your head and neck stay really heavy through this whole movement. So send your knees forward. Your hands are glued to your knees, so your head and neck automatically lift, but they're not working so much. And then round your knees out, so they're in this hovering butterfly. And then let your head and neck fall as you bring your knees to your chest. So you're just making big, huge circles out and around with your knees. And because your hands are on your knees, your neck and head just follow. And then let's go the other way. So go out, up, in, together to the middle, and then back down. Out, lift and around, bring into the middle, and then lower. Keep it going. Good. And once you get here, we're going to come right into a happy baby. So lifting knees wide out to the sides of your body, grabbing onto your ankles, calves, maybe the outside of your feet, maybe even putting your forearms behind your knees, and then pulling your knees down and out wide towards your armpits. At the same time, you're pressing your feet up towards the ceiling, and then relax your shoulders and your spine to the floor, your head to the floor, your tailbone to the floor. Eventually, maybe flattening your whole entire spine once you have built some flexibility to do so. Maybe it never happens. Again, that's okay. Maybe rock side to side. If you'd like to lengthen and straighten one leg and then the other, you can do that as well. This is things you can do for your practice to just listen to your body. Us teachers cue a lot, but you can change up whenever you want and need. We're teaching to a general public. And what does that mean? That means you might not fit into every possible little thing, like I don't. So change where you need to. You have free will over your body. Come back through center. Let your knees come down. And then windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then if there's any last thing your body wants or needs in order to find a full last resting pose, go for it now. Maybe that's more twists or another forward fold. Maybe you're ready for your final Shavasana. Your final Shavasana, you can take it seated. If you want it laying down, final Shavasana is just this last meditation to just release and let go of all muscle engagement. Let the body absorb and do no work and get treated for the work you just did. If you're on your back, let your feet go really wide, flop out, be messy about it. Shimmy your shoulder blades towards each other. Find a little lift up through the heart. And then let your spine soften back down. Palms up. Heads of your shoulders up. Neck nice and long. Let go of all muscle engagement. You might not even know where you're holding tension within your body. So scan through your body. See if you can let yourself jiggle around or do something to get 10 to 20% more relaxed with where you are. Loosen up your jaw and let the top row of teeth have a space from your bottom row of teeth. Soften your eyes, even all around behind your eye sockets. Loosen your forehead. Loosen the backs of your ears, the back of your neck, your shoulders and your shoulder blade. Let everything get so heavy and so relaxed. This is where you may actually forget that you have a physical body in this moment because you've allowed yourself to work through the tension with the physical practice, and now you're allowing to sit without tension just for now. Just be. If your thoughts you find are moving all over the place, perhaps picture that you're outside at your favorite place outside, whether it's a beach or the mountain or wherever that is. And you're looking up to the sky and it's pure blue, just a beautiful pure blue. And that pure blue is your thoughts and your brain, your whole mind and being. It's so expansive with opportunity, and maybe a white fluffy cloud starts to come in, which is a thought. Notice that thought. Let that thought go. Let it float through. Let it go and come back to that expansive blueness one more time. And every time A new thought cloud comes through. Acknowledge it. Don't fight it. Just let it come. What is it telling you? And then let it go. And take as long here as you need. Stay as long as you prefer here. Tuning me out if you prefer. Shutting off the recording and staying where you'd like to be for as long as you want and need. If you're ready to be guided out, start to make small movements with your fingers and toes. Wake up that physical body that you've let rest. Move your head slightly side to side. A slow awakening versus jolting awake. Being gentle with yourself, showing kindness to yourself. Perhaps reaching your arms back behind you, your legs out in front like a big morning stretch, like when we first started. And then pulling your knees into your chest for a hug, just like when we first started. And gently roll to one side. And with ease, press yourself up to a seat or stay on your back. If you're seated, sit comfortably. Pull your shoulders back. Put your ears back in line with your shoulders. Lift up through your skull as your chin has a slight tilt downward. Take a big inhale in and let it go. Bringing your hands together at your heart in a sign of true thanks and gratitude. One last inhale. One last exhale. Namaste, friends. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.